Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Soulful Sunday. You already know it's the FCBC recap. You already know how I do. Boom. So let me tell y'all. So when I left, I wound up going to FCBC today, and it was a virtual thing. I didn't know. Usually I'll call and make sure, but I didn't. I just was in a rush to go, and it wasn't there, so I had to look at it online. So boom, I already took my notes. Shout out to Pastor Mike. FCBC is on 116th, 7th Avenue. Y'all know the vibes, big church on the corner. Boom. So I really feel like this sermon today, I feel like, he always talks to everyone. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like this was really targeted towards people that, have shaky faith in the church, or have shaky faith, believing in God, towards atheist people that, just feel like, the church is very biased and stuff like that. And what he did say is one thing that really stuck out. He was like that the power of God rests inside you. You're the church. The church rests inside of you. And it's one thing he always says. He never really, I can't say never. He rarely refers to Jesus as Jesus. He says, follow the words of the carpenter. And he said that's very intentional, yo. Pastor Mike, you the man. Boom. I'm just going to say that because y'all be vibing. I love it. So I wrote down a whole bunch of notes. So I did bullet points. I'm going to tell you. So he started off with God is on your side. Do not lean into fear. So he started off with that. That was the overall thing. And he kept saying, follow the teachings of the carpenter, because he was just saying that, Jesus wasn't crucified because his name was Jesus. He was crucified because of his teachings. He wanted to elevate his people. When you really look at it, and wait, I told y'all I was going to start, because he said that, and this is something that I think I said in my last video about FCBC, or the other video, was that I'm going to start writing down, getting to read the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's a difficult book to read and really interpret. You know what I'm saying? So it was the book of Luke 16, verse 10. I believe. I wrote that down right. Because it was it'd be going so fast. My Twitter fingers is not that quick. Or not that quick as they used to be. So boom. He was just saying that people will talk about Jesus, or talk about a carpenter, but not follow his teachings. You know what I'm saying? You go to church, and sometimes people don't want to go to church, or they have bad feelings about oh, they so judgy, people looking at you, this, that, and that. But you're not going for them. You're going for you. And it's kind of hard to do that at times, especially if you really don't know. If you knew and then you feel judged or feel some type of way, you shy away from that. But Pastor Mike is not like that. He's wild dope. All right, here we go. Boom. I'm going to scroll down. Okay, it says, wait, he did say this, and this is something that my mother always used to teach me, always used to say to me. It says, if you are honest in small things, you will be honest in big things. So that my mother didn't say that. That's Pastor Mike's word. Shout out Pastor Mike. But it was but it's just my mother would be if people lie about little things, they'll lie about big things. And that's just an overall thing. If you lie about something, listen, I'm a recovering liar. Lying is a disease. I am telling you. People will lie for no, people oh, they lie for no reason. No, it ain't no reason. People lie for control or for whatever, to put this perception of them in your mind that you want to believe that is totally not true. Oh, Pastor Mike did this. And I feel like this message is for anyone that is questioning their faith, feels like they're atheists, feel like the church is being judgy of them. Because there's a lot of people oh, I'm not going to church. You don't have to. Church lies within you. We got Zoom now. Tap in. Oh, Pastor Mike went in. Boom. He said, the kingdom of God is within you. The kingdom of God. And then he was saying this, a lot of people will be oh, because they try to equate. When you go, I'm not going to say the wrong church or the wrong teachers. I'll just say, people that it's not Pastor Mike, they just can't get right. I'm not saying that everybody should be like Pastor Mike. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, they just can't get right. So, you know what I'm saying? They'll try to equate, as much as you love Jesus, or as much as you contribute to Jesus, or as much as you contribute to the church, that'll give you materialistic wealth. And he said this one thing is that you cannot serve two gods. You cannot serve two gods. Now, he's not saying that you should be poor, raggedy, and ratchet. He's not saying that. Excuse me. What he is saying is that's when somebody say, this is my interpretation. You ever hear somebody say, if you do something you love, you never have to work a day in your life. That's what I got from that. That's what I heard. If you do something, if you really pour into God, if you really pour into Jesus, if you pour in, tap in. Not just, because he said in another sermon, he was God is not, what he said, Pastor Mike is that's my main man. What he said, he was that if God is not a cosmic bellhop, you can't just be hey, hit me on the hotline when stuff is bad. You got to hit him on the hotline, all the lines, no matter what's going on, and always be grateful. He went in. He said, a lot of people, when they ended them, now we talking about church folks, that most of the time, I can't say most, he didn't say most, those wasn't his words. Whoever, if listen, only hit dogs holler, hold your belly. Boom, here we go, about to go in. It says, line your life up with the teachings of Jesus. Not that it is Jesus. A lot of times, I'm not going to tell you how many churches it took me a while to find FCBC, and that's a big ass church. Excuse my language. Oh, Lord. That's a big church right on the corner. It took me a while, and I started out when they used to have the Tuesday, Bible study things. I used to come from school. I was going to school. I was going to the KSAT classes. And after them KSAT classes, I would go and see Pastor Mike. It would be Pastor Mike, Pastor Troy, his son. You know what I'm saying? Oh, God, this is my job. Hold on, y'all. Sorry about that interruption, guys. Boom. And then he was like that. You know, sometimes, like, what's been going on is that people you got to read it. It was Luke 16 verse 10, something like that, I believe. But I don't know. I gotta let me go back. No, I don't want to say that I don't know. Let me go back. It's Luke 16, verse 10. I was right. And he said sometimes, like, you know, when you get in some of these churches or whatever, it's like they will manipulate the oppression of their people for personal gain. And like he said, one thing is that you cannot serve two gods. You cannot serve two gods. And what he said was that he not saying that you should be just down in the, valley where the girls get naked. He ain't say all of that. He ain't say you should be down in the trenches or anything like that. He's just saying that you cannot serve two gods. And I would, in my mind, I equate that to, like, if you do something you love in life, if you find your niche will make you rich. Your niche or whatever, it'll make you rich. If you find your thing that makes you your thing, it will get you to the happiness that you desire. You understand what I'm saying? People say, oh, like money equates happiness. Say the more money you got, the more you feel free in this world that we live in. I totally get that. He's not saying you should be poor. He's not saying that. What he's saying is that if you follow the teachings of the carpenter, and I feel like he said that it was intentional that he was saying this. Pastor Mike, you did it. I'm just saying, I feel like for anybody that's questioning their faith, anyone who has a problem believing in God, anybody who has a problem believing in Jesus, anybody who's a problem with the church, or anybody who feels conflicted and like, oh, should I go? Should I not go? I don't really know. Tap into Pastor Mike at FCBC, because he'll let you know. You can feel it. Like I'm just saying, like, this was great. FCBC, you did it again. This is the recap of FCBC. I love y'all. I love the way, and I feel like this sermon was intentional, and I love the way he started it off with saying that, God is on your side. Sometimes, we like to blame God. He said this too in another sermon, that sometimes we like to blame God. Sometimes that's just life. Life shows up even for him. And he passed the mic. Even for him, it shows up. So if it shows up for Pastor Mike and he's been sitting here by the Lord, he's been redeemed by the Lord. You understand what I'm saying? If it shows up for him, it's going to show up for us all. If it shows up for Jesus, they put him on a cross. He didn't get crucified because, oh yeah, that's Jesus, we got to crucify him. Nah, he didn't get crucified for that. He got crucified for his teachings. They didn't want him to uplift his community. They did not want him to do that. And a lot of churches just like, oh, you need to put in for this, the building fund. We got the building fund, but you're not funding your community the way Pastor Mike does. I'm just saying, I'm just here to speak. I'm not speaking on behalf of Pastor Mike or FCBC. I'm just saying this is my recap. This is what I do. Listen, if you having trouble in your faith, tap in. That's all I'm going to say. This sermon right here, he tapped in. He tapped into that audience that's a little conflicted. He tapped into them people that's a little reluctant or just feel shamed by the church. Like, oh, because I come in there with jeans and a skirt, or because I come in there with my breasts is out, or if I come in there because I believe in, because I like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's a non-judgmental zone. Follow the teachings. Every day I follow the teachings. Forgiveness, love, community, all of that. Like, and it's difficult. It's not easy. I don't know. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to be truthful. I don't know how Jesus did it. I really don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you know what I'm saying? But I just feel like listen, when I started reading, like, Jesus went to parties. If you know any Capricorn, a lot of them like to go to parties. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they like to party. They like to do, like, follow the teachings. Forgiveness, love, understanding. You know what I'm saying? They have to show you teeth when you need to. 49.